With realization in one's potential and self-confidence in one's ability, one can build a better world. The Dalai Lama.
Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm a success coach, speaker, and business consultant, and my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time 10 years ago. We moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we'd never even been here. But we made it, and now we're living our best lives. And all along on our journey, I've said that someday when we get our quote-unquote shit together, we will help others. And since then, we've both done a lot of self-work and built successful businesses. So that day is here, and one of my ways of paying it forward is through this podcast. Each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you?
Hi, everyone. Thanks in advance for tuning in and listening to this week's podcast. I am super excited. It's a great day. I woke up with this what a great day. It is Saturday. It's totally raining here in the Keys. I have been cleaning and organizing and working on marketing and just ready to move forward. And I am over the moon excited. I wanted to share that quote from the Dalai Lama. It's a beautiful quote, and it is in the chapter that Ryan and I co-wrote together on confidence. And I've talked about this book chapter more in my other podcast, Crush It in Sales, but the book chapter is called Building Confidence Along with a Successful Business from the Ground Up. And I love talking about confidence. I do believe it's something that you can work on like a muscle, and you can build it over time. And as you recognize your wins, as you have things happen to you and you recognize them or you work on things, your confidence grows. It grows and grows and grows. And you have to realize that you are the most important person. And that's just part of it all. So this episode, I wanted to talk about the lies we tell ourselves, because that goes into a confidence bucket, right? How many of us are saying things in our head, saying things out loud to others or in conversations, and they're lies? They're lies that we tell ourselves. They're lies that we think are true about things we are doing or can't do or should be doing and don't, or don't make time for them. There's so many. The list is endless. And I really am challenging you in this podcast to think about, as you go through your day, what lies are you saying to yourself? And the example I want to use for myself is about my recent weight release. And I shared with you how I was going on this weight release journey back in July. And it is now September 12th. And I have released 25 pounds. So in 2 months, I have released 25 pounds. That's amazing. I'm like over the moon excited. Like, it is just like blows my mind how easy it's been. And I feel like, where have you been all my life? And I know I think I've posted that in a few posts as well. Where have you been all my life? This program, this healthy lifestyle program. And I'm coaching on it too, so if you're interested, please reach out, just as a side note. But I just can't believe it. And in relation to confidence and the lies we tell ourselves, I have been telling myself for years, since as long as I can remember, that I have fat thighs and I have fat arms. And that is just how I was built, and that is hereditary. And you know what? No, it's really not. I have just been eating so poorly, and my weight has always gone to my thighs and my arms my whole life. I remember as a kid hiding my thighs, sitting by the pool with my hands over my thighs, hoping that no one saw my thighs, because to me they are always chunky. I remember being a kid in dance class and dance recitals, staring at all the other girls' thighs. I know that sounds weird and creepy, but I'm sure you can all relate to some piece of this. And thinking, oh, she has thin thighs and I have fat thighs. I've worn skirts for years and years and years. If you know me or even look at my pictures, you'll see I wear skirts because pants never fit me because my thighs are fat. And I just feel like dumpy wearing pants or jeans because of my thighs. So those were lies that I always kept telling myself. I'd go shopping and stay away from anything sleeveless because in my head, I had fat arms and I was not able to have thin arms or toned arms even because hereditarily, my mom has bigger arms, my grandma had bigger arms, and that's just how I was. I was never taking responsibility for my eating habits. I never was. I was never taking responsibility. I was telling myself lies that that's just how it was, when in all actuality, it was something I could change. It was something I could actually control and do a better job of fixing. Heck, like it's unbelievable. I'm super excited to hopefully show a picture of a before and after of my arms soon because now I'm working on toning them and I've readjusted how many more pounds I want to lose in order to try to get to a certain, I guess, look and how things really fit. So when I originally picked my goal weight, I just really picked it out of the air because I had no idea. I was like, well, let's see how this rolls. And I picked a certain goal weight, and that was to lose 27 pounds, and I've lost 25 of those. But when I still look at my thighs and arms, I'm still like, you know what? I think that some more could come off here. So I'm putting out another little goal and having that goal be that I weigh a certain weight by November 1st and look a certain way. So I'm lifting my little weights and I'm working on doing that in order to hit my goal by November 1st. But those were lies. Those were lies I was telling myself. Another thing that can easily happen to you is lies you're telling yourself with where you work or who you work for. And those lies can be so harming. They can cause anxiety. They can cause sleepless nights. So many people are stuck in a job or working for a company or in sales, working for someone, and they think, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to be a people pleaser. Oh, I have to follow the rules. And you know what? You don't always have to do that, especially if it's icky, especially if it's a passive aggressive company. There's so many things. So look at that too. Look at that. Are there lies that you're telling yourself in regards to your work environment, who you work for, what you're doing, how you're spending your time? There can be lies in regards to your relationships, how you're letting other people treat you. So many people, again, are people pleasers. This just comes up all the time. I'm amazed. And you don't have to be that way. You are number one. So think about the lies that you tell yourself every day to passate behavior that is really not acceptable. If it's going against your inner being, and your inner being is love, and you feel anxiety, that's a clear sign that something is wrong with the situation. That's your gut. That's your intuition, however you want to put it. A lot of people might not have heard the term inner being before. Abraham Hicks uses that term a lot, and I just feel like I have, embraced that as well. You can say your soul. Again, you can say your intuition. And your gut is probably the most universal. A lot of people can easily say, trust your gut. Well, if your gut is telling you that someone and how they're treating you isn't right, think about that. And are you creating stories in your head to make it all right? And it's really not all right. That goes in the bucket of lies you are telling yourself. And you deserve better. You totally deserve better. And you have to believe that when a window closes, a door opens, and it's okay to walk away. And I talked about this last week on Crush It in Sales. I feel so strongly about this. Oh my gosh. I could write books and books and books and books and books. And it's so funny because I just had something happen to me yesterday and I knew it was coming. It was no surprise. I'm not a stupid person. And my tarot card readings have been building up to this. And it was so funny because I listened to Well Told Tarot on YouTube. And I've talked about this amazing YouTube tarot card reader, Andrea, and in my private Facebook group, Good Vibes. And she was right on the money. Oh my gosh, it was crazy how awesome her tarot card reading was. And I'm trying to see if I could get her on my podcast, which would be super cool. So Andrea, if you're listening, I think you're amazing and would love to have you on the podcast. But, just keep those things in mind. Stop making excuses because that's all the lies are. They're excuses. It's you not taking responsibility for things in your life that you can change and you can make better. We all have the power within us, just like Glinda the Good Witch says, right? We all have it within us. I have the chills right now saying this. We all have it within us to live our best lives and be happy. And so you don't need to keep telling yourself lies. You don't need to keep making excuses for behaviors, for your appearance, for how someone treats you, for something that is just not acceptable. If you don't feel good as it's happening, take a look at that. Just take a look at it. That's all I'm asking today, is that you stop and you recognize it and you start to take a look at it and start to see, can you make a change? It might not happen overnight, believe me. Oh yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. And my last week's podcasting about manifesting, it's all part of that too. Believe me, it's all in the same bucket. It all happens together, people. The universe has plans and you kind of go with the flow and you put it out there and see what happens. But take a look at that and at least start to recognize it. And then you can start to put a plan together and work towards something that makes you feel good. So whether that's working on a healthy lifestyle plan where you release some weight, or you just get in better shape even, or get rid of an ailment, whether it's a job situation or a relationship, whatever it is, there's so many different ways you can slice and dice this. I challenge you to stop the lies. Stop the lies you tell yourself. That's really all I have this week. And I really hope that you feel this, you can share this with someone who needs it. That is always what I hope for. I always hope that I help at least one person out there. And if that one person helps another person, then I have done this podcast for a reason. And I have shared things that probably get me in trouble. And that's okay, because out there I know it makes me feel good when I can help somebody else. I can help my pain and my struggles help somebody else. So I'm going to leave you with this affirmation, and I want you to fill in the blank. And the affirmation is pretty simple. It is, I love myself too much to be blank. What is your blank? And I'll give you some examples. I love myself too much to be treated poorly. I love myself too much to be undervalued. I love myself too much to be disrespected. I love myself too much to be walked on. I love myself too much to be underpaid. There's plenty more examples out there, and I challenge you to think of what is your affirmation that you are going to think of so you can stop the lies that you're using as excuses. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow me on Instagram. It's Melinda_Van Fleet. I would love it if you signed up for my newsletter. There's a free tip sheet on believing in yourself and taking action, and that is on the goodkarmasuccesscoach.com. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn or Facebook. So till next time, be grateful, be curious, always be learning, and you know what? Have some fun too. Thanks again for listening and have a beautiful week.